My first book, Wild Swans, was the story inspired by my mother. She never says to me to be cautious, not to get, to pull my punches. She never tells me that. She always encourages me to write what I regard as truthful. I loved writing when I was a child, but when I was growing up in China in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, it was impossible to even dream of becoming a writer. And even writing for oneself was dangerous. When I was 16, I wrote my first poem. When I was lying in bed polishing my poem, I heard the door banging. Red Guards came to raid our flat, and I had to quickly rush to the bathroom to tear up my poem and flush it down the toilet. So that ended my first venture in writing. But the desire to write never left me. And in the following years, I worked as a peasant, and I worked as a steel worker and an electrician. And when I was spreading manure in the paddy fields, and when I was checking electricity supplies on top of the electricity poles, and I was always writing in my head with an invisible pen, but I couldn't put pen to paper. In 1978, I became one of the first Chinese to go and study in Britain. But I didn't want to write when I got to Britain because Britain was like another planet. It was like landing on Mars. And I just wanted to enjoy the new life. And so for 10 years, I didn't write. But in 1988, my mother came to stay with me. And for the first time, she told me the stories of her life and stories of my grandmother. And when I was listening to my mother, I thought I got to write all this down. And so it also occurred to me that my mother seemed to know I had this unspoken dream, and she was helping me to fulfill my dream. Because when I was out working, she talked into a tape recorder. So by the time she left London, she had left me 60 hours of tape recording. And that's how I became a writer. First of all, you have to be passionate about writing, because writing is not always glamorous. I mean, winning prizes, being bestsellers may not come. I mean, only when you feel passionate in writing can you really stick it out and write good books. The other thing about writing biographies, nonfiction, is that always go to the first-hand source. Always don't rely on secondary sources. And in researching archives, going to other first-hand sources, and you get tremendous pleasure. My principle is to write completely truthfully. I mean, not to think making concessions, not to pull punches. And I think this is why I think you have to feel passionate about writing, because otherwise you're going to make concessions and pull punches. And I don't think you would write good books. So I have made up my mind that I will not think about making concessions, and I will just stick to it and come what may. And I think only that can make you write a good book.